Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's It's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, mask down, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. I would say go follow ATB's new channel. If you guys didn't know, they have their own YouTube channel now, but we had a meeting today, and I got a little insight into some of those numbers, and it seems like most of you guys have found that new ATB channel. But if you have not already, guys, go subscribe to the new Around the Blockchain. They are their own separate YouTube channel now, so make sure you guys go follow them. But what is going on, CandleMafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your time with us here tonight. And Bitcoin. What are we expecting from Bitcoin? Are we going to get another leg to the upside this week? Or are we going to continue this move to the downside, surpassing that 23K level and coming down to some lower price targets? We're going to have to take a look. Today, we're taking a look at Bitcoin, guys. We're going to be taking a look at some of those altcoins. I want to touch on some key levels on Bitcoin that I'm watching. As you guys know, I did update the Discords today, obviously, and let you guys know kind of where I was feeling earlier today. But I want to go over some key levels that I'm watching very, very closely, maybe some levels that I might be looking for some trades at, and just kind of break down the price action. As it is Monday, we are starting another trading week. I just kind of want to break down my sentiment. As you guys know, last week we were leaning bullish in the long term and a little bit more bearish in the medium to short term, or I would say medium term. But now that we have come down to our key level of about $23,000, which was essentially our first major target of or area of support we were looking at to the downside. But now that we have come down there, we have kissed that level and we have gotten a little bit of a bounce. Are we going to be able to sustain support above that 23K level, or are we inevitably going to break below it and go head to some lower prices? And if we do, what are the levels you have to be watching? What prices can we come down to? So we're going to be covering all of that today. And obviously, again, we will be taking a look at the altcoins towards the end of the stream. But before we get into the price action, guys, just so you know, today's energy is brought to you by Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. I would show you guys the logo, but I just don't think the internet's ready for the logo yet. But yeah, guys, before we jump into the price action, guys, let me go ahead and take a sip of this Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Shout out to anybody who was in our Friday live stream and got a chance to watch that progression video that we played at the end of the stream, showing me from my absolute first video I ever uploaded to YouTube all the way up till, I think, a couple of weeks ago. As you guys saw, this energy was not always there, guys. The energy was not always at this all-time high that it is nowadays. Our first stream was actually cringy because it was so low energy. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming in. And now I come in like an absolute wrecking ball. What is going on, everybody? I'm screaming. Everybody's like opening the doors like, is this guy okay in here? But guys, salute to Jimmy Two Shoes. I know you're not in here, brother, but we know you're with us in spirit. We know you'll be back soon. Salute, Jimmy Two Shoes. This one for you, my paisan. And those of you who don't know who Jimmy Two Shoes is, you will know when he comes back. But guys, before we jump into this saucy price action, let's go ahead and say what is up to the Candle Mafia. I see you guys in here already going nuts. Let's see, who do we got? Shout out to all our wonderful mods, guys. We got Crypto Billy, Tyler Durden, D Petty Crypto, Rob the Crypto Stomp, Crypto Anon, Tony D, D Petty Crypto. Did I say that already? Captain Kirk, Crypto Billy. We got them all in here. Shout out to all of the mods. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for all you do. You guys work very, very hard, and I appreciate it more than you could possibly know. But we got Dave Digital in the house. What is going on, Dave Digital? Welcome in, bro. Happy to see you here. Shout out to Crypto Billy. We already shouted him out, but I saw the name. Shout out David Brumbelow, not financial advice, which is a reminder, guys. Nothing on this YouTube channel is financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I do. But yeah, shout out to David Brumbelow, 100% not financial advice. Shout out to, guys, I've been saying Kuzikin bump it. I've been saying Kuzikin pump it. And on Friday, we did a gaming stream with Joel from Hit Network Gaming. By the way, guys, go subscribe to Joel's YouTube channel at Hit Network Gaming. We're trying to get him to 1,000. subscribers. So I forget what it is. It's he could go live, but he can't. Oh, because we want to be able to raid him, and you need 1,000 subscribers to get raided. So if you have not already, somebody drop the link to Hit Network Gaming, guys. If you can just click over there, I don't even care if you leave the stream temporarily, or maybe just open another tab. Click on that. Go follow Joel on Hit Network Gaming. But shout out to him. But we were playing Warzone on Friday. I was with them in the Discord, and Kuzakin Bump It. It was in there. And I found out that his name is actually Cuz I Can Bump It, which is, I actually like the meaning behind that name. Shout out to Cuz I Can Bump It. I absolutely love that, man. Shout out to you. When I asked him, what does Cuz I Can Bump It mean? He said, cuz you can. And cuz I can. And it's cool. The whole reasoning behind the name is super cool. So shout out to Cuz I Can Bump It. It was a blast playing with you on Friday on the Hit Network stream. Shout out to you, bro. Darren Does Things. What's going on? We got Donato Cabrera in the house. What is going on, bro? Thank you for tuning in. As always, OG of the Candle Mafia. Welcome. Wesley Morris. What is going on? We got Dow Jones in the house. We got the Dow Jones in the house. Went down $3. I'm going to panic. Oh, God. Shout out to Dow Jones. Shout out to you, man. Hang in there. Hang in there. Have your stop loss set, brother. And let the stop loss do its thing. Crypto Chef. Shout out to Crypto Chef. Crypto Chef, I found an envelope in my office today, and I think we owe you a t-shirt, if I'm not mistaken. Please rest assured, it is coming. It is a little bit behind, but Crypto Chef, we got you, bro. That shirt is coming. If you could actually let Tony D know in the chat what shirt we owe you. Is it a Frankie Candles University shirt or one of those shirts, or is it a shirt off the merch store? Let us know. We do know we owe you a t-shirt. If you don't remember, you could just pick something off of the merch site. Let Tony D know what you want, and we'll get it out to you because we do owe it to you. Shout out to Bufo on the beat. Welcome in Indiana Candles. Hannah King, as always. Hannah King, what is going on? Welcome in, Hannah. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the continued support. Lucho in the house. No giveaways tonight, Lucho. We got Tony Soprano. What's going on? Anthony Soprano, what's going on, bro? Everybody show some respect to Tony Soprano because you don't want to piss off Tony. And then we got some super chats before we go ahead and jump right into it. We got Nomad Dad in the chat too. Shout out to Dennis. What is going on, bro? He says, join the Candle Mafia if you haven't. Great community. Shout out to Dennis Vaquarano. Hopefully I said that right, bro. I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, shout out to the community, guys. Our community is the best. If you're not subbed to the channel, if you're not in the free Discord, if you're not part of the Candle Mafia, get in here. And shout out to Hannah King for gifting one Frankie Candles membership. So one of you lucky people just got joined into the Candle Mafia without even giving consent. So you've just been forced into the Mafia, and now you can't leave. Shout out to you. It's the best Mafia in the world, but I promise. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Said Jimmy Void, a.k.a. Jimmy Two Shoes, original gangster here in the Mafia. XRP will start the next bull run. Said it first. Yo, Jimmy, we miss you. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Somebody get this out to Jimmy Two Shoes. We love you, bro. We know you'll be back. Me and Billy and all the mods will all be waiting for you, as well as the rest of the Candle Mafia. Shout out to Jimmy Two Shoes. Shout out to Flat Smack. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. What is going on? And with all that being said, there are no exits, Shannon says. Absolutely. Did somebody say gabagool? Shout out to Joseph Martinez, as I like to call him, Joey Martinez. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, we got the gabagool. Bitcoin is pumping, so we're going to go ahead and jump in and take a look at these charts, guys. I think we said what's up to the Mafia, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the charts. Take another sip of that Aztecian cactus moss water. It's Monday, guys. You got to get a little extra Aztecian in there to keep the vibes going. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Frankie, but also, Frankie, when? Oh, chemistry, bro. I got you. I know what you're talking about, bro. Shout out to Boofo on the beat set. It didn't even move 1%. Yeah, shout out to Boofo. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. But yeah, chemistry, bro, says when. I say very, very soon, bro. We're working on, I think he's talking about the Haikanashi or the Frankie Candles hoodies is what he's waiting for. They're in the works, chemistry, bro. For sure, absolutely. We're doing it, if anything, for you, Chem, bro. Let's get it. Shout out to chemistry, bro. Yeah, there we go, Frankie Wen hoodie. Yeah, I knew it, bro. Yeah, we're getting it for you, bro. We might have to make a chemistry, bro, special edition hoodie just because we've been making you wait so long. Shout out to Alamsia. Alamsia got the free membership from Hannah. Hannah gives a lot of memberships away, and we appreciate her for that. So shout out to you, Alamsia. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Welcome to the Candle Mafia. And then real quick, somebody said, oh, yeah, shout out to Corey Marco, said the Discord is fire, guys. So definitely get in there. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. But let's go. Yeah, shout out to Corey. Said, I wish it went smoothly when I played Warzone with you. Yeah, shout out to Corey, bro. It was fun, man. I had a good time. Yes, he said your dang VPN. But yeah, we always have technical difficulties, but it's still fun getting to hang out and talk to you guys in there in Discord. Shout out to Hannah. Says, Frankie, I will be the first to buy a hoodie. Ooh, shout out to Hannah King. She's going to be waiting. We'll have to, oh God, she's going to be in competition with Kembro to get the first hoodie. We'll let you guys know who gets the first one. But guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the saucy price action here because Bitcoin is finally making some moves. All right. So moving on here, just getting rid of all our TA and just taking a look at the price action, guys. Now, it is a new week, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the weekly time frame, although not too much can be deduced here. Obviously, that VWAP did take a little tick towards that zero line, which would be a technical bearish sign. I wouldn't say like bearish, but just an indication that like the higher time frames are cooling off, right? So just something to realize there. VWAP did get that little tick down to the zero line, just kind of already telling us what we already knew, which was that the weekly is starting to cool off, right? Which is obvious because we did get the red dots and the bear divs on the lower daily time frames, which obviously is going to lead into the weekly and the 6-day, right? So taking a look at that 6-day, also getting very, very close to that zero line, looking for the red dot. Not printing just yet, but likely going to print in the next 2 days. I think the next 2 days will give us that 6-day red dot. And if we do get that, I think the weekly will be following very, very shortly behind it. No guarantee that that's going to give us a massive nuke to the downside, but it will likely end up being some form of a move down. Moving on here, 5-day red dot is now printing. One thing to realize here, guys, is that the money flow is continuing to come up. It does look like we may kind of leak out a little bit as that red dot prints. However, this is still technically coming to the upside, so would still, as long as we have this low, higher low, we could just kind of put in another higher low and continue to work our way up here with the money flow. But because that red dot is printing as of right now, it would indicate a potential cool off. So just be ready for that. 4-day bearish. Now, we do have the red dot here confirmed on the 4-day, but another thing to realize here, guys, is this was also a bearish divergence for the most part. You do have your higher highs on your price action with your lower highs on your momentum waves, giving us that confirmed bear div, which on a time, this is kind of want to talk about this for a little bit today. In general, guys, a 4-day bearish divergence is likely to give you a pretty big move to the downside. But kind of what I was doing, what I was talking about this morning in our premium live stream that we had at about, we were supposed to have it at 12:15, but then I had technical difficulties. I know, big shocker. And then we wound up going live around like 1 something. But, in that premium live stream this morning, guys, we were kind of talking about how, with these bear divs, like this is typically a very, very bearish sign on a high time frame like the 4-day, but something you want to realize here is, if we are truly going to get some kind of a big move up here, similar to what we had in 2019, where we essentially came back up and retested a local golden pocket or a macro golden pocket that we had up here at around $14,000. If we are going to get a sustained push up like this, we would not expect the bearish divergences, even on the 4-day, to really turn into anything extremely catastrophic. They can turn very bearish, but the thing is, when you're in a strong uptrend, you're naturally going to form bearish divergences like this on the way up, right? And you could probably start to see it. You could see it even right here. Like let me pull up a different chart here so I can get a clean chart, right? So coming back to the 4-day here, just to show you guys an example of, why we may not be in store for the biggest dump off this bear div on the 4-day. And that is because when you're in a strong uptrend, this is obviously the parabolic bull run of 2021. So this is a little bit of a different situation, but you do have higher highs on your price action with your lower highs on your momentum waves, which gives you that gives you a bearish divergence on the 4-day, right? But we didn't get an absolute dump to the downside. We just got one red candle there, and it wound up bringing us down. Let's see. Wound up bringing us down about 15%, which is a decent move which is a decent move down. But it didn't play out like the final bear div that we had. A little later here, where you had your higher high right here with your lower highs down here, which wound up turning into a much bigger dump, right? So when you want to realize when you have money flow was coming up here, right? Money flow is continuing to come up as you put in that bear div, so it didn't make it very strong. That is the same thing we need to at least be aware of as a a possibility as we wind up coming up here, right? So, money flow is coming up. Now, it is starting to leak out or flatten just a little bit here, but money flow is coming up with that bear div. So we're just, maybe not expecting this thing to nuke down to zero. We also, something really really interesting here is the fact that we did come up and test the Lux Algo Smart Trail on that 4-day. Now, with the Smart Trail, guys, you could kind of think of this as a dynamic level of support and resistance. Obviously, when you flip it from purple to blue, it is an indication that there is an uptrend starting, and then once you are flipped blue on that Smart Trail, it can act as support when you come back down to retest it. So I was saying to the Discord earlier, this is something I've really been using. I said this in the free Discord. This is something I've been using a lot more in my trading because it adds really, really nice resistance confluence or support confluence. And I might make a video about this later this week, guys, because a lot of people ask me, hey, Frankie Candles, you always say don't FOMO into trades, but then how would I wind up entering into a long or short position after I missed the initial move, right? So how would I get into a long position when we're in an uptrend? Like, how do you know if that pullback is going to be a pullback, or how do you figure out if it's going to be a pullback or an actual change in trend? And the Smart Trail is super, super helpful when trying to help you decide that, right? But anyway, this is not why we bring this up, but just, kind of another reason we are up against decent resistance here as we put in that 4-day bearish divergence. 3-day bear div is also confirmed here as we are getting a move down. And again, with uptrends like this, guys, sometimes those bearish divergences do wind up kind of showing themselves more as sideways consolidation, or even some, even some downward consolidation or retracement before getting a big move up. But sometimes they can show themselves as sideways consolidation. So again, that is something we're keeping an eye on, but not forgetting how brutal these higher daily bear divs can actually wind up being. But moving on here, obviously we did confirm that 2-day bearish divergence. We were talking about this last week. It was confirmed on the regular candles before we started getting this move down. Then it confirmed on the Heikkens. Money flow also coming out on the 2-day. So that is worth noting, showing money is leaving the asset as price continues to step up here. And then on the 2-day, obviously this is a lower time frame, but you could see here, how important it is. We flipped this Smart Trail to blue, right? Basically flipped it to support, indicating that this could be a new, bigger uptrend starting here, right? And this is on the 2-day time frame with a strong buy signal here, which would indicate we may start a new uptrend. But again, like I said, we could potentially retrace, and if we do come back down, to some lower prices and we break some of those key levels that we're going to be talking about in just a second, and we start looking at those lower prices that we may be coming to, you could be looking at the Smart Trail on the higher time frames, looking for a potential tap on that level. Now, I don't know if I would look on the 2-day, but a lot of times that is kind of what happens, right? You'll flip that Smart Trail, just for an example, right here. Let me turn off these buy and sell signals real quick. Right, just to clean it up so I could show you guys more easily. You obviously you're stuck underneath the Smart Trail, right? And then you pop above it, turns blue, and then you come back down and test it before continuing up. Granted, we barely got any higher than right here, but a lot of times you will see that in an uptrend. Even here, right, you get a big move up, consolidation, you come back down and test this as support before continuing up. And I think we did give a signal to go long here, but it was not based off the Smart Trail. But that Smart Trail did give you a great signal where it was like, hey, you got a big move, might get a correction. And then as you're correcting, you could look at that Smart Trail. The 4 hour is a very effective way to do this. Look for the tap of that Smart Trail on the 4 hour for a potential entry. If you get some confirmations at that level, you could get in and then, hopefully get into a continuation to the upside. So I might make a video on how you can kind of have a strategy to get in on uptrends, but essentially that's how I would use the Smart Trail is you kind of pop up, consolidate, boom, you tap it as support, it holds, you get some bullish confirmations maybe on the lower time frames, then you get in for that continuation up. But anyway, continuing on here, going over to the daily time frame, guys, you can see kind of the same thing popped up. Tap that Smart Trail before continuing. Are we going to come down into the Smart Trail, tap it again before continuing up again? We're going to talk about that just a little bit. But here is where so you have the confirmed bearish divergences on your higher daily time frames. That is something we have to keep our eye on. However, there is the bullish case here definitely lies on your 1 day, right? Because the 2 day, as you guys know, money flow is coming out. And then as you get into these higher time frames, it's kind of hard to tell. But when you get to the 2 day, money flow is coming out, right? So with a confirmed bear div and money flow coming out on your 2 day, is somewhat of a bearish sign, but then you come down to the daily and you're like, okay, what's going on here, right? Basically what we have going on here is money flow is coming back up with the VWAP also looking to cross that 0 line for a green dot probably in the next day or so, right? Maybe in the next 1 or 2 days. So we will likely get that green dot on the daily in the next 1 or 2 days, right? And if we are going to get a big move to the upside, I think we will. It will be during the printing of this next daily green dot. With that being said, again, money flow coming back up with that VWAP curving back to the upside is a bullish sign, guys. This makes me think that, even if we do correct a little bit more based off of lower time frames, it does make me think that, if we were getting a green dot or close to getting a green dot on the daily, I'd be like, that's somewhat bullish. But the fact that money flow is coming up as well is making me think that this might leak back into the 2 day and get that 2 day money flow to come back up with that 2 day green dot eventually. But the daily is looking like it might want to set up for another move to the upside. However, guys, I'm going to go ahead and preface this right now. Sometimes the indicators give us clear signals, and sometimes they are just mixed signals. This is something we were talking about in the premium live stream this morning, and kind of how we can avoid false signals when you get mixed emotions on the indicators. There are certain things you could do to kind of like avoid those false signals by just looking at price action and key levels. But the indicators are showing somewhat of mixed signals, so just be aware of that. But if you come down, then you're going to see why in a second. Daily money flow and VWAP coming up would technically indicate a potential continuation. We may create a nice little trigger wave here on the daily. However, coming on down to that 16-hour, guys, money flow is still in the red, and the fact that the VWAP is coming down pretty aggressively here is making me think is if we print this red dot, this is likely going to drag money flow deeper into the red, which may invalidate this money flow coming up on the daily. But again, the daily you'd want to take pretty heavily, right? You want to take that. You don't want to take that with a grain of salt. So again, this is kind of where the indicators are giving us a little bit of mixed signals, right? But 16-hour red dot may give us a little clarity on that, because if we come down and we print this red dot on the 16-hour, money flow may start to pretty quickly start coming out again. However, if we get the VWAP to come down and we see money flow continuing up, that could indicate like, hey, this might just be a little cool off. But if the money flow starts coming back out, it may turn into something much bigger. And when we start to look at once we start looking at the actual key levels, you guys will feel much better about not really being worried about the false signals on the indicators, because as long as you have those key levels to look at, even if you're looking at something like the smart trail, you would expect, even if we came down into this smart trail a little bit, but you have red dot on the 16-hour, price comes into the smart trail, but your money flow is continuing to come up, that might indicate the smart trail will act as support. But if we start printing that red dot on the 16-hour and money flow starts curving out, right, and money flow starts to aggressively curve out, that would potentially indicate you may lean more towards the fact that the smart trail will flip red, right, or flip to a bearish sentiment, right? So that would indicate more downside. And again, once we take a look at the volume profiles and those key levels, guys, you're going to feel much more in control, right? I feel like the volume profiles really give you much more control over what you feel, right? Because if you're looking at the indicators right now, whether it's, it doesn't matter what indicators. A lot of indicators are giving mixed signals right now. The higher time frames look bearish, but kind of bullish. And then the medium, the daily looks bullish. And then the 16 and 12 hour look kind of bearish. And then you go down a little bit lower, it looks a little bit bullish. You're all over the place. But when looking at the volume profiles and understanding where the key levels are and why they are key levels due to where the volume's being traded, you'll know that you might be able to watch one of those key levels and be like, hey, I'm not flipping bearish until this level is decisively broken. And then it doesn't matter, the indicators can bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, but as long as you're holding above that level, you may remain bearish or you may remain bullish, whatever your sentiment is. And that's kind of what we're going to look at today. And I think it's really going to help a lot of people, kind of understand how looking at actual price action and levels can help you avoid market confusion. Again, 12 and 16 hour look a little bit more bearish in my opinion, especially because the VWAPs are rolling back over. If we get those red dots soon and money flow comes out, it could flip pretty bearish. And then the fact that you have the higher daily term, higher daily time frame bear divs, it would make sense for these to flip bearish, right? But then you have the daily in the middle just kind of throwing everything up in the air, and it's like, okay, now what do I believe? Are we bullish or are we bearish? What the heck's going on? And again, I'm going to try to clear that up and show you guys a couple tricks on the stream. So taking a look at your 10-hour red dot looking to print here. Something else to realize here, guys, is the fact, so obviously money flow crossing back over into the red. VWAP about to print that red dot very, 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 very soon here on the 10-hour. Sometimes when you get that VWAP and money flow crossover at the same time, guys, it could get pretty bearish. That could wind up being a pretty bearish look. And I do think, again, for other reasons that we could come down, and we're going to talk about them in a minute, but 10-hour actually looking for that red dot with the money flow coming out at the same time, definitely a little bit more of a bearish look. And another thing that we were kind of looking at on that premium live stream today was the fact that you have this big green money flow wave, beautiful, right? And then we were cleanly coming out to the downside, but then we came back into the green, right? And I was like, oh my God, now it's bullish again. And then we're back in the red, and that's bearish. But now we're back in the green, and it's like, oh my God, are we going to flip bullish? But something to realize here, guys, is massive blue wave, right? Or green wave, depending on, the colors of your chart. But massive green money flow wave, right? And then we came into the red just a little bit, back into the blue, back into the red, back into the blue. Now, the reason I bring this up, guys, is because if you just look here, we have a high, right? You have a high here, then a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? As money flow bleeds to the downside, right? Then you come into the red and then back into the green. But what did you essentially do? You just continued that trend of a lower high, right? High, lower high on your green wave, right? Then you come into the red again, and what'd you do? You put in a lower high, right? So you got high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So if you were to draw that as a trend, guys, this green money flow, even though we went into the red in between the green waves, you are still just generally trending to the downside, right? Even here, you went even lower, right? So what this could end, not only that, your red waves got bigger, right? So you got lower lows on your red wave, showing that the bearish momentum may be building, right? So you come in down here for the red wave, and then this red wave came down even lower. So you're making higher lows on here. This is the green money flow is trending out, and you may even potentially have growing momentum to the downside on the bear end, right? So just in general, all the way from over here, you're including this little pop right here, you are trending with money flow coming to the downside. You weren't just coming out over here, but over time, over multiple crossovers, over multiple money flow crossovers, more of a macro sentiment of that money flow over a more of a longer period of time is trending outward. So that is something you want to realize. That lower high on the money flow may be a pretty bearish sign on the 10-hour, right? So there you go. 10 hours definitely looking more bearish. 8-hour, same thing, right? Money flow trending out as time goes on, and your red waves are getting bigger. So green waves are getting lower highs or smaller waves, and the red waves are getting bigger waves, right? So that's showing that we may be getting that flow to the outside. To the downside, right? 6-hour, looking for the red dot, money flow starting to come out. Your 5-hour has crossed back into the red, guys. Something to realize here, something on the more of the bearish end of things here, is that we did have that 5-hour blood diamond flashing. I don't know if it, I think it was on this, okay, so it has disappeared since, but we were printing a blood diamond here on the 5-hour at some point on regular candles, right? So that is worth noting. Shout out to Thesis himself. Said we are bearishly retesting the daily rising wedge right now. Very, very, very interesting. Thesis, we'll have to check that out. Shout out to Thesis himself. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here, man. You're an OG, bro. We appreciate you so much. And then let me just get these super chats out of the way. I don't want to leave the CandleMafia hanging here. Shout out to Johnny B Crypto. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate you, bro. And he just wanted to say, fist bump. Boom, baby. Let's go, bro. Shout out to you, Johnny B Crypto. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Hannah King said, I will be the first to buy the hoodie. I think we read that one. Shout out to Hannah King. We appreciate you so much. Let's see. Chemistry Bro said, no, Hannah, I will be first. Oh, God, guys, we have oh, God, no, Chemistry Bro, I will beat you. It will be me. Oh, my God, there's an actual showdown going on in chat. Shout out to Thesis himself. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Yeah. Blockchain Planet says looks more bullish on the high time frames. And Market Cipher is just throwing the noise in to confuse you, Frankie. She's bullish. Shout out to Blockchain Planet. Yeah, right. Okay, so I didn't say this in the beginning of the stream. We talked about how we were feeling last week. But guys, as long as the money flow on the higher time frames is generally trending to the upside, right? So even though we're kind of flattening out here, we are still trending up on the higher time frames. I probably should have said this when we were looking at these high time frames, right? We are generally trending up, right? Because of this, and because of the fact that we are still bullish on the weekly, and just as far as market structure generally goes, things do still look pretty good. But mostly because the money flow on these higher time frames are continuing. Look at that 5-day curvature on the money flow. Because of this, I am still leaning bullish in the long term. So just so you guys know, Blockchain Planet made a really good point. Noise, right? There's just a lot of noise right now. But again, on the higher time frames, just in general and on Market Cipher do still look bullish as far as money flow goes, right? So because of that, it's not until that 4-day money flow really starts coming out heavy, or that 3-day money flow really starts coming out heavy, or that 2-day money flow. I mean, it is starting to come out, but you could see it is starting to flatten out here, right? So until that really starts nosediving, I'm not really that worried. We're also coming up to, we also got support on a very key level, right? So it's another reason why. But I will show you guys kind of where I would be kind of losing that bullish sentiment. But let's continue on. So that 5-day blood diamond was printing, but did actually wind up disappearing. But we'll have to see that. That red dot is still printing here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see where it takes us. 4-hour red dot is confirmed here. Money flow coming back out on the 4-hour, right? So this is definitely, this is just something that could easily round back off and come back up. But as of right now, this money flow is coming out. So it'll make me lean a little bit more bearish on the 4-hour. 2-hour money flow starting to flow out as well. Kind of the same story there. Your 1 hour is back in the green, right? This was kind of what was making me say yesterday that we might be able to make it all the way back up to our previous value area low. And one of the main things I was looking at here was that money flow on the 1 hour crossing back into the green. Among other things, right? We also last night had the 4-hour money flow coming up pretty nicely. Shout out to Dave H. Says, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. Dave H., I appreciate the first super chat, bro. And I appreciate you back, bro. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that you're showing appreciation. Shout out to Dave H. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Frank's been sunbathing. Am I looking tan, guys? I will say it is hotter than the sun in the Frankie Candle studio right now, so I am dripping sweat. Shout out to you. I did get a haircut, guys. I didn't gel the hair. Maybe I'll gel the hair tomorrow. I'll come up all Rico Suave, all Fonzie, looking all Fonzie-like for you. But yeah, we got the fade, guys. We got the fade. It's all messy now. I got hat hair, but there we go. Little hair, little Frankie Candle's hair reveal. We got the hair, guys. Kind of looks like a toupee right now, but that's okay. It's not a toupee, guys. I swear I have hair. Don't pull on it, though. But anyway, guys, let's continue on here. Money flow coming out on your 4-hour. Again, this is a little bit more of a bearish sign. I'd like to see that roll up with our VWAP very, very soon. So yeah, we'll have to take a look. But again, guys, kind of like Blockchain Planet said, there's a lot of noise, right? But the way we're going to avoid that noise, guys, is going to be here on the, I'm going to pull up this chart real quick, and I just want to talk about some key levels that we're watching. I'm actually going to pull up our actual levels here, and then we'll go ahead and zoom out and take a look at kind of how we can simplify and ignore any false signals that indicators might be giving us, right? So essentially, guys, levels have basically remained the same. I'm actually going to pull this up. We'll do this live because I think this will really help people. Basically, guys, the way I would be handling this right now is looking at our more macro volume profile. Let me go ahead and try to get the sweatshirt off, guys. This sweatshirt is like Kevlar. It's like, oh my God. It's so, I can't explain it, guys. It's like, it has no give at all. It's like concrete. Like I can't stretch it at all. So I can't get my elbows through the sleeve hole. Okay, there we go. And then like these sleeve holes, like right here, these are so tight that my hands get stuck and I gotta pull them. It's a nightmare, guys. Oh my God. All right. Oh God. Whew. I love that sweatshirt, but it's like, God, it's so hard. It fits good. It's just really tough. Anyway, continuing on here, guys. This is the volume profile, right? This is our more macro volume profile. Let me come up to higher time frames so we can more easily see this. Now, this profile is pulled all the way from, I believe, Friday the 13th, January 2023, obviously all the way to our current price action. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this is kind of how, obviously, if we come over to this level, or this chart here, we came up and we bearishly retested our value area low where we were looking for a scalp short this morning in the premium Discord, posted it. Like 7 or 8 minutes later, it started to hit. I was not at my desk, so I did not take the trade, but it wound up hitting pretty nice for a nice little move here. Came down a few percent. So shout out to anybody in the premium Discord that caught that little scalp this morning. We're just out here trading. But shout out to you guys. But basically, the reason I bring that up is because we were looking for two things here, right? As you guys know, 23K was that level that we were looking very strongly at. This blue box was our key level that we were looking for a bounce off of, right? And you guys will remember on Friday's live stream, I was talking about, I got you, Dave. It's coming, baby. It's coming. You guys will know that this blue box at around 23K was a main level of support we were looking at. This is where we were expecting price to fall to, and this is where we were expecting a bounce. And the reasoning behind that was the fact that at 23K, we had a few things, right? We had the point of control of our more macro range, right? This bigger range that we had. We had this little micro range that we were scalping up and down and up and down and up and down. We broke that, came down to our next target at 23K, which was not only the point of control of our macro range, but it was also the point of control of our previous area of consolidation or our previous value area that we were trading in all the way back here. So that's two levels of confluence. On top of that, you did have this local golden pocket, which was pulled from some pretty decent swing lows and swing highs, giving you that local golden pocket. And that made this a pretty reliable level, right? And what happened, right? We left our area of consolidation here, and we shot right to our target, 23K. This is where we wanted to come, and this is where we were looking for long positions. And you guys will know on Friday I mentioned that I didn't take a long position, right? I said I did not take this long position as we came down and tapped this local golden pocket. I didn't take the long position as we tapped this POC, and the reason for that was because there was no confirmations. We don't just see the key level, see price touch the key level, and then randomly get into a trade, right? We need confirmations, more than one confirmation, right? So with that, with that in mind, we didn't take that trade, which was a good idea, right? We did get a bounce. I wasn't freaking out here. We're not freaking out. Okay, it's coming up. No big deal. I didn't get a bullish confirmation. It's just a bounce. And if it's not, I'm going to miss the trade. I'll catch the next one, right? We're not going to get wrecked here FOMOing into trades. That's not how it works, right? You don't want to do that. You're going to eat up your account. What you want to do is wait for the highest probability trade. You don't want to take willy-nilly trades. You want to take trades that you're like, I'm almost positive this is going to hit, right? And then if it doesn't hit, you'll catch the next one, figure out what you did wrong. And sometimes, guys, you do everything right, and the trade just doesn't hit. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes the TA just gets invalidated, and that's okay. That's going to happen to you. You're going to have the best TA ever and be so confident that price is going to go up, and you're going to get wrecked. Or you don't have to get wrecked, but you're going to lose the trade, right? You'll get stopped out at a small loss because you use good risk management if you watch this channel. But that's just going to happen. That's a part of the game. But here in this case, we came down, right? We didn't get the bullish confirmations. We got a little bit of a bounce, but then what happened? We continued down and got a second little dump here to the bottom of the range. And this is what we were looking for. As you guys can see, this one on the 1 hour, we got the bullish divergence into this blue box along with other bullish confirmations on the lower time frames, right? So this was what we were waiting for. We didn't have the entry signal here. That's why I didn't take the trade. And I likely, if I got in here, I probably would have gotten stopped out up here. So I'm glad I didn't, right? But we were waiting for an actual entry signal, but we didn't have one here, so we waited. Price continued down, and we got our actual entry signal, which one of those confirmations, well, the entry signal was basically the 90-minute or 1 hour bullish divergence with money flow coming up on specific time frames, as well as a couple of other things But there you go. We had no signal to enter here. We didn't enter, and what happened? We saved ourselves money, and then we were patient, right? We didn't get crazily, we didn't get FOMO up here and FOMO into a long and get wrecked. We just sat on our hands, right? I think it's going to come back down. And if it doesn't, I'm willing to let it go. But it did. It did come back down. And then we came down and we got our signal to enter, which was that 1 hour bullish divergence as well as those other confirmations. We got in, and the target was essentially to come up and not only retest a golden pocket retracement, but also to come up and test that value area low. You can see we came up into that golden pocket, which I think was the target, and then we came up into that 786, and then that is where we gave the short, not the short signal, but the short setup this morning, and now we're kind of just hovering here. So the real question here is, where are we headed next, guys? Now, we did catch the signal at the 23K, right? We did catch that, we got the signal to enter, and we're getting that bounce off 23K. But is this going to be sustainable, and are we going to be able to come back up to our value area high of the previous range at around 25K and then hopefully beyond to 28 and 30K? Or are we going to, did we just bearishly retest this value area low just to come down and continue this downtrend and break even lower? And we're going to use the volume profiles, guys, to kind of clear out the murkiness from this water. Now, very important to realize what we have done so far. Now, let me go ahead and pull our volume. I'm going to pull up this clean chart. We're going to pull our volume on this local range that we were trading in, right? I'm actually going to extend this to the right, and you can see, right? I guess it moved now. But let me go ahead and let me unextend this to right so I can kind of show you guys what my thought process was. Let me see. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Come on, a little bit more. Can you get it? There you go, right? I would even go a little bit less, right? So right here, right, we had our previous value area. Is this the same? No, we want to go to the Bitstamp chart. There we go. This is what we want. This is what we want. All right. So I'm actually going to clear or hide some of this stuff here, guys, and then start nice and fresh. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on. Hide everything. There we go. Okay. So this is basically how I would handle this, guys. Pull some volume on our previous range right here, right? So this is the range that we were trading in. We lost that range, came to the downside. We hit our key level, which again was the POC of that more macro range at about 23K. We came down, we tapped that level. Then we came up and bearishly retested this value area low. Now, the reason this retest kind of has me a little bit concerned is because if you pull your local golden pocket from the start of this move down all the way to our low that we made, you could see not only did we come up and bearishly retest this value area low, which in the Discord, in the premium Discord, I was letting everybody know this is likely going to give us some form of a decent rejection. That's how we found that short setup this morning. But we also came up and tested this local golden pocket. And if you guys remember back to yesterday or last week's live stream, I talked about how Bitcoin loves to make these bounces into these local golden pocket / 786 Fibonacci retracements before making a lower high and then continuing the downtrend to the downside, right? So if you're high, lower high, you come up, lower high, you come up, lower high, you come down, and then you'll come up for another lower high. So we were talking about how Bitcoin loves to come up to these levels to make these lower highs. You come down, you tap this golden pocket to the dollar. You also have that local value area low, and this is kind of what makes me wonder if we are going to get that continuation to the downside, because price came, it bounced, we got that confirmation to go long, got the scalp, and now we may have made this, we may have created this lower high in this retracement level to just continue this downtrend to the downside. So right now, guys, the immediate support underneath us, the most important level of support as of right now is going to be $23,000. This remains an extremely, extremely key level. Shout out to official 417 row. I don't know if that's supposed to be said a certain way. He says, thank you for breaking this down, Frank. I was hoping you would break this down again. And I'm going to, because this is very important, right? This is going to be very helpful for the people trying to learn. Because of this, shout out to Dave Digital. Speaking of Dave Digital, we got to get that money gun back out in a second. Hang on. With that being said, 23K is going to be the most important level of support underneath us for this reason. Because if we break down, if we do get a move below 23K and we cannot get back above $23,000, this would indicate that much more, no, I wouldn't say much more, but this would indicate that there is more downside on the way, because once we can't get back above that POC and we decisively reject this level, it is going to be more likely that we come back down to revisit our value area low of the macro range, which is coming in at about $21,870. So again, if we bearishly retested this, and this is going to be the lower high to continue the downtrend lower, we are going to break that POC, right? That is going to be basically a guaranteed fact, right? If this downtrend is going to continue, we have to break that POC. So if we can hold above this point of control, that would keep me bullish, right? As long as we hold this point of control, this would keep me bullish in the medium term. I think that we could eventually get that bounce off of that POC, potentially break back above that value area low of that previous range at about $23,766, in which case this is going to be the most important level of resistance above you, right? So if we come down and we lose the POC decisively, we are expecting more downside, and it's going to be likely that this was just to come up to make a lower high. But if we can come down and hold support on this POC, that could indicate that we are going to make another move to come up and retest this value area low again and potentially get back above it. And if that were to happen and we can hold support above that value area low, this is where you're getting very bullish, expecting a move up to not only the point of control at about 24,600, but hopefully above that to retest the highs up here at your both value area highs. Your macro and your local value area high are up here. And then this is the level that we need to break to crack into our low volume gap, our higher time frame, low volume gap, up to, somebody making an NFT. But that is where, once you get above these value area highs, that is where you can break into that more macro low volume pocket up to retest, most likely, first off, the lows of this area of consolidation between about 26 and 28K. And then if you could flip those levels to support, that's where you may get the move up to about about 30K, right? And then again, if you want to do some moon math here, again, one of those really, really moon boy levels that you could look at if you're a moon boy out there, could be the macro golden pocket coming in at between about 48 and 50K. Not saying we're getting there anytime soon. I'm just saying we've had runs into the macro golden pocket in previous runs, in previous bull runs. You could see we did it back here with this fake out bull run in 2019. From the high to the bottom of the bear market, you come up and you retest that macro golden pocket before coming down and getting a second chance at the lows to get into the market. We've had those run-ups into those local golden pockets. This was, I think, a 300 and something percent increase. Yeah, 350% pump. And if we saw that same thing all the way from the bottom here into that macro golden pocket, it's only 225%. So obviously the market is maturing. We would expect these moves up and down to become less and less from a percentage standpoint. We would expect that number to get lower and lower. But understand we could get this 225% run up into that macro golden pocket, and it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. So again, I am leaning bullish in the long term until we start losing that. Actually, with that being said, let's just zoom in and I'll talk about it, right? So if we could get above that previous value area low, the resistance level above us, this is the most important resistance, because if we get back above there, we have a chance to make it up to the value area high. If we get a chance to make it up to the value area high, we have a chance to break above the value area high. And if we do that, we'd crack into that low volume pocket, which would bring us up to the next high volume node around 28 to 30K. And then once we reclaim that level, it gives us an opportunity to knock on the door to our next leg up, right? Which is going to get us creep up closer and closer to that 50K level. And again, I'm not calling for 50K. I'm just saying if we can get to 30K and things remain bullish and we're going to get some kind of fake out bull market here like we did in 2019, that would be the the next logical, not the next logical spot, but that would be a logical end, top price target to watch, that macro golden pocket. So there you go, guys. Again, most important support underneath you is that point of control for the reason of, again, no matter what your indicators say, right? If we are going to remain bullish, we will likely not break this POC decisively. Again, we could dip below it, but if we're closing multiple 4-hour candles underneath here, and we keep trying to get back up and we cannot get up, that's where you're likely to see that fall down to the value area low. And again, if we continue to pump up a little bit here, this is where, we want to get above that value area low to open up the door for a potential another leg to the upside. Again, though, one thing you want to realize, although we have that VWAP coming to the upside on the daily with money flow coming up as well, which is going to be, which could easily give you that move back up to your value area high. The only thing that really kind of deters me from thinking that we are going to get that second leg up like this week, a reason why I wouldn't think that would happen is the bear divs on the higher daily time frames, the 6-day and the weekly cooling off. 6-day red dot is now printing on regular candles. But again, money flow is still not looking horrible, right? So really, the 6-day red dot, even the weekly red dot, guys, doesn't have to be, oh my God, it's going to zero, right? It could just be a little cool off. But if we're going to get another big leg up, it would be much easier to do that with a fresh green dot on the daily, or at least after, unless we're going to get support on that zero line. But, really the only thing deterring me from thinking that we're going to get a move up would be the 6-day and the weekly cooling off with the confirmed bear divs on the lower daily time frames. But if you're looking at your volume profiles, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because you're just waiting to break key resistance or break key support, right, to expect that move up or that move down. Shout out to Chemistry Bro, says, yo, Frankie, check the chart pick. I just DM'd you super quick. I think it's a real nice view of our range, and it shows more confluence for the recent bounces. Okay, let's see. Actually, I don't have Discord open right now. Let me see. Let me try to open it. Hopefully my computer doesn't restart, guys. We've had quite a difficult time with that recently. All right. So let's see. DM, Chemistry Bro. Let's see. Yeah. Ken Bro, we will check these out. Maybe I'll post about them in Discord. I don't want to have to look through them. It's going to take up time. But maybe we'll bring them up tomorrow. Maybe we will bring them up tomorrow. God, I'm so tempted to really look at these right now. But we will come back to look at them. However, what happens, guys, if we do get that move down, and why would I be looking at that value area low, right? Now, if we come back to this other chart, our next blue box, right, the next major area of support does come in right about down here near our value area low. I think this box moved. I don't know why this box moved. But this is going to be the next level, right? If we break that POC and we cannot get back above it, and we are going to make that move down towards that value area low, this blue box is going to be the level to watch, right? And the reason for that is because at the top of this box, we have the 786 fib level from this local golden pocket that gave us the support down up here. We do have that 786 right down here at the top of this blue box. On top of that, you have two NPOCs, which are not on the chart as of right now. I don't know if they're minimized. Where are they? Are they invisible? I don't know. Or maybe they got deleted. But you have two NPOCs that are also coming through this level, adding a lot of confluence to this level, as well as your value area low all the way at the bottom. So this is going to be another level. And on top of that, you do also have a spider line, as you can see right here. I'm going to have to come down here. I'm going to go like this. Nope. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that. And then it is a linear spider line. There you go, right? So a lot of confluence down at this level, right? So if we do not, if this is in the case that we do lose the POC, right? If we lose this POC and we come back down to our next level, this blue box is the 786 at the top with NPOCs, two NPOCs. That's why it says NPOC pocket. There's like two NPOCs right next to each other, running right through there. So 786, two MPOCs, a spider line, and the value area low at the bottom, right? So it would make a lot of sense if we break that POC. This blue box will be a really, really good place to look for some support. So again, really just looking, this POC is going to be the make or break it moment, right? So until we crack this previous value area low or that POC, that is where I am expecting to choose a direction and head that way. But if we could just kind of bing bong around here between 23K and this value area low, that could indicate we might just bing bong around and then that daily green dot prints, and that's where we crack up above that value area low and head back up to the value area highs. So that is basically how I'm feeling about Bitcoin, guys. That is, again, mixed signals. But if you're looking at your volume profile ranges, remember, keep it simple. When you erase all the noise, when you turn off your indicators and you're just looking at the volume profiles, just remember, even if you get rid of the local ranges, right, any other levels that you've drawn, right, you could even take all of your levels off and just look at the volume profile. What is happening? We were at the bottom of the profile, went to the top, came back to the POC. Now we're bouncing around. If we lose the POC, you're expecting to come down to the bottom, right? The value area low. If we hold support on the POC, you may be expecting to come back up to your value area high. You're just looking at things in terms of ranges. And speaking of ranges, you could probably even pull another little fresh local range right here. If you are looking for, some lower term scalp trades, you are starting to form some sideways action here, which will eventually be analyzable or analyticable. I don't know what words I'm using, guys. But yeah, you are starting to form somewhat of a sideways range here that you will be able to analyze and get some new levels off of. But again, just zooming out, oh my God, are we bearish? Are we bullish? Well, if you break below that POC, you're likely going to flip bearish and come back down to the value area low. Volume profiles. So shout out to you guys. That is basically how I am feeling about Bitcoin. Watching that daily green dot for our next move to the upside. Also, the next 4-hour green dot may give us a little bit of clarity on if we're going to get a strong bounce off this POC. But the VWAP is still coming down with money flow coming out. So we're going to have to wait for a little bit for that to start to roll back to the upside. But there you go, guys. There's some insight into how I'm feeling about the markets right now, or at least Bitcoin. But now, no way. Okay, hang on, guys. We have 1,100 people in here watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being in here tonight and spending your time with the Candle Mafia. But if you just came in, make sure you smash that like button, because every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, where you have multiple chances to not only win some free crypto, but you can win a signed copy of Ben's new book, Catching Up to Crypto, or maybe even some of this fire merch. So yeah, guys, smash that like button if you smash the like button if you guys want to spin that wheel of pain and pleasure. And if you want Bitcoin to go back up, smash that dang like button, guys. We're going for 850 likes. If we can get 850 likes on tonight's stream, I will spin that wheel 15 dang times. All right, let's see. Matthew Speck said, we're always bullish on the Frankie Candles channel. Let's go. Shout out to Matthew Speck. I appreciate that. I'm always bullish on you, Matthew. Oh God, shout out to VW John 37. Shout out to you, bro. Smashing the heck out of that like button. Let's go. Just smash it with my forehead. Yeah, guys, lick it, kick it, hit it with your head, touch it with your butt. I don't care what you do. Hit it with a shoulder. Hit it with a little Conor McGregor, little shoulder shot. I don't know. Maybe do a little Jake Paul and just knock the thing out. I guess Jake Paul didn't get knocked out, right? Though I didn't see the fight. Who did Jake Paul get knocked out? Did Tommy Fury knock out Jake Paul, or did he just lose? Let me know. I heard he still made $30 million though. So hey, I mean. I'm not even a boxer. I would go lose a boxing match for $30 million. I mean, come on. Let's see. Good evening, Candle Mafia mods and Frankie. We got Papi Chulo in the chat. What is going on, bro? Donata Cabrera saying, touch that like button. Or he said, hit that like button. Let's see. Destroy the like button. I like it. Chemistry Bro says, ignore everything except for the last pick with a nice, simple chart. That's the only one I meant. Sorry, wasn't expecting you to read the rest right now. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. No problem. I'll show it. I'll show it. Hang on. I'll do it. You think I'm scared? I'll show it. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. So this is the chart. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was on a really small chart, so I couldn't even read it. But now it's on my bigger chart. So there you go. Let's see. Let's get our bearings here. 23K right about here. There you go. Lower zone. Okay, I like how, Ken, bro, I like how you have this separated into mid zone, upper zone, Lower zone. I like that. I like that. Nice little retest. Okay. I like it. I like it. Well, there you go. Shout out to Ken, bro, for the fire chart. Let's get it. Hey, I like the white and purple candles, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The white and purple's kind of fire. The white and purple's kind of fire. I love seeing people who send me charts. Shout out to Ken, bro. Thank you for sending me this, bro. People who send me charts, I love like looking at their settings. Like it's kind of like a weird thing I do. Like someone sends me a chart and like I'm like low key paying the most attention to like, oh wow, they're using interesting colors. Like, oh wow, they have this fib set up like this. Interesting. But yeah, dude. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Also, real quick, just shameless plug for Chemistry, bro. Oh no, I broke Discord. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. I broke Discord. Okay, there we go. Shameless plug for Chemistry Bros 3D printing. Look at that thing. That's sick. That is a sick 3D print. Shout out to Ken, bro. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right back into the charts. I'm going to have to go back through there and read all that, Ken, bro. I have not checked my DMs in a while, so I'm behind on those. But let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue on here. If you guys, wow, how long have we been going for here? What are we going? About an hour and 11 minutes. Guys, if you want to see your altcoins, go ahead and throw them in chat. Rob the Crypto Snob, or maybe Rob the Crypto Snob will go ahead and collect all your votes, count them up, and let us know the results, and then we will start taking a look. We will go ahead and take a look at the altcoins. Yeah, shout out Hannah King. Hannah King, the Mafia Princess, making it rain. Absolutely. Did she just... Oh, my God, she did it again. Shout out to Hannah King. Thank you so much for gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Hannah King is the absolute GOAT when it comes to gifting those memberships, for sure. Next to Crypto Billy, Kenton, Crypto and Yogurt. We got a lot of people. I think Cuz I Can might have donated some. We got a lot of people that donate these memberships. So shout out to everybody who donates. Indiana Candle says... yeah, shout out to you, bro. Yeah, let's go. Hannah out here just gifting those memberships. Just those key volume levels is the mid-range. Still holding strong now. We have come back into it. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Chemistry, bro, be out there killing it. Let's go, bro. Kudos to you, man. But let's go ahead. There we go. Here come the Giver's Gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy. I love that. Giver's Gain. Let's go. Dump it, baby. Shout out to Blue Skies. I see the altcoins coming in, guys. But as we are waiting for those altcoin requests to come in, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Take a sip of the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. And don't forget, guys, we are also the healthiest crypto YouTube channel on YouTube. Where we drink this absolute disgusting green juice that is literally just blended up grass in a plastic bottle with a logo on it to make you think it's going to taste good, but it actually tastes like garbage. Ugh. Oh, this one's not that bad. It just tastes like, okay, yeah, no, it tastes like grass. I don't know. Oh, God, so nasty. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. Crypto and Yogurt, what's going on, bro? We pumping. I want a FOMO. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we're pumping. As of right now, guys, real quick before we jump into ETH, if we do continue to pump, big level, right? Big level to watch would be the spider line / value area low coming in at about 23,750. 775, right? So that would be the most likely spot to get a rejection from, basically this white box here. But continuing on here, taking a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Shout out to the Izzy. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Says, Jasmine, please. We'll have to add it to the list. Shout out to you, man. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Shout out to Servando Estrada. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Gotta go. See you guys in Discord. Shout out to Hannah King. Hey, Hannah. Have a good night. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for gifting the Mafia the memberships. You are quickly becoming a big part of this family. So shout out to Hannah King. She's like she's like the one of our see you there, princess. Yeah, shout out to Hannah King. Shout out to Jessica, who is actually Jessica is our resident female CandleMafia representative, and Hannah King is just like they are like the dream. The female Candle Mafia representative club. They're out here repping the female crypto people because they are far and few between, guys. 98% of our viewers are men. So we love seeing the female Candle Mafia's members out there showing face, and we might even make them some special merch because we can't forget about the females. But anyway, Let's see. Continuing on here, taking a look at Ethereum, guys. Now, again, basically just crypto and yogurt with the 10 gifted memberships. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. We're just talking about you, bro, and he just pops up with those memberships. Let's go. Shout out to crypto and yogurt. I really do appreciate you so much, bro. And I know Andrew, Adrian, Sean Hawkins, Sipho, and let's see. Michigan Mids. Was gifted. Shout out to another young guy got gifted, Raul. I know they are all thanking you, bro. So shout out to Crypto and Yogurt. I really do appreciate you, man. But guys, taking a look at Ethereum here, basically just keeping an eye on this range, right? Kind of just continuing to bing bong around in the range. You're at the bottom, come up to your POC, back to the bottom, back to your POC, back to the bottom, to the value area high, to the POC, value area high, POC, value area high, deviation, back to your value area high. Then we came to our value area low, and now we are on our way to potentially, well, we were on our way to our value area high, but now we are getting caught up on our POC here, coming into a lower time frame. Here it is, right? We kind of held support on this POC before getting a quick drop to the downside, a bearish retest on the POC, which is happening as we speak. Is it a local golden pocket? It is not. Right? So we could push back above here and then get rejected back below the POC. But if price does not get above that POC and hold it as support decisively, some of the levels I would be looking at would be, obviously, if we come down, bearishly retest, and we cannot get back above this level and we get a decisive rejection, it will be very likely that we will come back down to our value area low, coming in at about 1550. Now, if you guys are in that free Discord, you will know I put this in the free Discord. So if you're in there, this would not be much of a surprise to you. If we cannot get back above that POC, I would be expecting to eventually, right? Price action is messy, guys. Price action is messy, but eventually it is likely that we will come back down to our value area low, coming in at about 1550, which remains a very, very key level of support. Now, with that being said, fondle that like button, y'all. Shout out to Crypto and Yogurt. Appreciate you, bro. Wendell says, Frankie Candles University in session. Let's go. Shout out to Wendell, bro. I appreciate you for being here. But if we do get a move down to that value area low, or we do get a rejection off that POC, guys, obviously there is going to be somewhat of, obviously price action is messy, as I just said. So it's likely not just going to be, bing bong, can't get back above it and then dump to the value area low. It will likely be, bing bong, can't get back above it. And then turning on our volume here, probably going to be like a dump down, bounce off the local golden pocket. Maybe you kind of bing bong around this area, and then eventually you'll lose it, and eventually you will get sucked towards that value area low. So not only would I watch the value area low if we get rejected from that POC, but I'd also watch that local golden pocket coming in at about $1,600. 786 coming in at about 1581. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these off. I'll go ahead and do this. I'll change this to a box. Go ahead and mark that off as a blue box. So these are the levels that I would be looking at on Ethereum if we cannot get above that POC. If we do get above that POC and we start seeing things flip a little bit more bullish, and we do have a confirmed 1 hour green dot here. If we do get a push to the upside, I would expect a retest of that value area high once we flip that POC to support. Value area high is coming in at about 1679. And then if we could start testing this would be a great place to look for shorts. However, if you do not get the short confirmations and things still look bullish at this time, that would be an indication that we could potentially flip that to support and then could get a continuation to the upside. But really what I would be watching is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does not get a retest of the value area highs at about 25K, we are likely not going to get this retest, right? So if Bitcoin starts testing those 25K value area highs, our macro value area high and our local value area high up here, if Bitcoin starts testing these levels, I would expect ETH to be coming up to test these levels as well. And then if Bitcoin gets that breakout through the low volume gap up to that 28 to 30K level, that's where I would expect to flip this value area high or these highs up here or these highs up here at about 17K, I'd be looking to flip that value area high to support, or these highs back here from mid-February to support before continuing to the upside. As far as our indicators go, it is looking very, very similar to Bitcoin. Our daily VWAP, yeah, see, this might give us an indication into what is going to happen with Bitcoin, guys, because sometimes, as you guys know, not as much right now, but there was a time where ETH would be the leading asset, right? ETH would think all these signals would pop up on ETH, and then Bitcoin would follow behind. It is not really the case much in the recent past, but this could indicate what we're going to see on Bitcoin. You also have your money flow coming up, but we are getting that trigger wave with the green dot, right? So kind of how we can use this to our advantage is if we can see this green dot play out a little bit on the daily. If this plays out a lot, Bitcoin will likely follow, right? In my opinion. If this turns into a VWAP flop, we may want to be a little bit more careful with the green dot on Bitcoin on the daily, because if Ethereum gets the VWAP flop, it may mean that Bitcoin is going to get a VWAP flop as well. So looking very similar to Bitcoin on the daily time frame, just seems a little bit ahead of schedule here with the green dot printing. So we'll see where this green dot takes us, and by analyzing where this green dot takes us, we can kind of use it as insight into what's going to happen on Bitcoin. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's go crypto. Shout out to Mystic Alley. Let's go Bone. Everybody wants to see Bone. I see you guys. I like green dots. Lori, so do I. Hey, Lori be out here representing the female candle mafia. Let's go. But continuing on. Okay, continuing on here. Yeah, so this is kind of what I would look like. Daily, looking kind of bullish, but I would like to crack this macro point of control to see some more upside to get closer to that value area high. But yeah, and then, 16, 12 hour, again, kind of, again, can give us insight into what's going to happen on Bitcoin. Money flow coming up pretty nicely on the 16-hour, 12-hour, same deal. Your 10-hour got rejected at the zero line. So the mixed signals are out there on the indicators, guys. But again, you could take a look at your key levels, take a look at the volume profiles. But I would this rejection at the POC, a lot of times what happens, right? Let me come down to a lower time frame, right? A lot of times what happens with the volume profile, if you come down to your value area low, which I guess you can consider that being at your value area low, a lot of times what will happen is you'll go from the value area low to the POC. Sometimes you get above it, and then you get a correction, but then eventually you wind up working your way above that point of control, right? So although we did get a somewhat of a rejection, if you look at these higher time frames, as you can see, came up, rejected, we may just kind of come up, cool off, and then get a move back up above that POC. But as of right now, we are literally tapping that level to the dollar right now. So we'll see if we can break above it. If anything's going to pop us over that POC and flip us bullish, guys, it's going to be that green dot on the daily, which is printing right now. So we'll see where that takes us. All right, let's go ahead and see what kind of altcoins you guys want to see today. Real quick, I'm not really going to do much analysis on this, but I do just want to peek in on the DXY on our main chart here. And as you can see, we are continuing to the upside as we're holding support on top of that golden pocket. We are starting to continue that move up. Next major level of resistance for the DXY is going to be about 106.263, where we have this local golden pocket. Will we make it there? I'm not sure, but the daily money flow sure is pointing to the upside. But it does look like we're due for a daily red dot here pretty soon as well. So just something to keep an eye on. But we'll see. If this continues to the upside, obviously going to be bearish for Bitcoin, and it will kind of the deciding factor will be is if we hold support on top of that golden pocket, or if we're going to break back down into it and then break back below it. But as of right now, we are coming down to test it in a bullish manner. So I'll have to see what happens tomorrow and check back in on it. Also, the SPY is something I want to check on as well. Guys, what level were we looking at on the SPY, guys, for a potential bounce to the upside? Remember, this played out almost exactly as we expected it to. We came up, tested this golden pocket where we were looking for a rejection. For that rejection, guys, we were looking for a bullish retest at this golden circle at about 396. 396.26, which would be a bullish retest of the breakout of this downtrend. And not only that, you also have the POC of your price action basically coming all the way back from Wednesday, April 27th, which was my birthday. Or no, I'm sorry, the 28th, which was the day after my birthday. But yeah, all the way from there to, all the way up till here. We could actually probably extend this to the right. But basically the point here is, guys, we came down. We have bullishly retested not only the breakout or the downtrend that we broke out of, right? Macro downtrend, we had a high, lower high, lower high, lower, or lower high, lower low, lower high. And came in, multiple lower highs, stuck in this downtrend. We finally broke out here, and then came back down to retest the trend line from that downtrend, as well as the point of control of this range, making it a very plausible place to get a bounce from. And we drew this line probably all the way back in the beginning of February, and it has almost followed it exactly. Now, I'm not saying that we purposely guessed these, for it to follow our line exactly, but essentially what we expected was that retest of this specific level for those specific reasons that I just pointed out, and essentially that is what we got exactly, right? So if we are going to get a strong bounce here, there would be no better time to do it than at this level, right? But if we start breaking below this level, that's where things look a little bit more bearish. So very, very similar situation on the SPY as Bitcoin, kind of at this key level of support. If we lose this level, this POC, we may be starting our journey all the way back down to lower prices on the SPY. And then the daily VWAP is coming up. So as far as market cipher, it does look very similar to Bitcoin as far as the indicators go. Also, one other thing I do want to point out, guys, is what was I going to look at? I forget. But anyway, let's get AGIX. We could definitely take a look at AGIX. No problem. Let's go ahead and see. Beffed Up says, thank you, Frankie and CandleMafia. I'm out. Got to get back to work. Thank you for the TA and your time. Peace out. Shout out to Beffed Up. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you for being here. Have a good one, bro. I already see the Mafia saying peace out. Let's see. It'd be quite the job, though. Probably multiple days of printing per item. Shout out to Rob, a crypto snob. Don't know what you're talking about there, but I support you, Rob. I support you, brother. Let's see. Shout out to Jessica, says, love the candles, hearts candles. I think she means CandleMafia. Shout out to Jessica. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first altcoin, which is going to be Matic. Matic, Tether US, bada boom, bada bing. Here we go. When was this? Tell me this was. So yeah, I mean, we were looking here at the daily bear div is probably what these lines were from. And look at that. Boom. Big nuke down on Matic for the daily bear div. Daily bear divs are very, very, very powerful, guys. You don't want to forget that. Definitely a bearish sign, and very unlikely that they give you no move to the downside. Continuing on here. Let's see. Let's start off taking a look at the weekly. Red dot is printing. A lot of altcoins printing that red dot on the weekly. This would indicate more movement into the downside alone, right? Money flow also kind of coming out, kind of curving up. 6-day. VWAP printing that red dot here. Money flow still in the green on the 6-day, but you are getting that red dot. 5-day, red dot is printing. VWAP crossing down. Money flow still looking good. 4-day, VWAP red dot confirmed. Money flow coming out slightly. Your 3-day money flow coming out slightly. Red dot confirmed. Your 2-day money flow kind of coming out there. Nothing too decisive. And then, yeah, this is looking the same thing. This is looking very similar to Bitcoin as far as market cipher B goes. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy, says, I love candles. Guys, I charged the lighter, but why is it smoking? No candle. I don't know what happened to my candle. I think Mrs. Candles threw out my candle. She did. But anyway, continuing on. Matic on the daily money flow coming up. VWAP looking for a potential move up closer to that zero line in the next couple days. Likely you will get that green dot along with Bitcoin. Your 16-hour money flow is in the red, 12-hour money flow in the red. As far as market cipher goes, looking very similar. As far as the indicators go, Crypto Infinity said all my kids say now is Bing Bong. Shout out to Crypto Infinity and shout out to Crypto Infinity's kids and to you guys, all you little kiddies out there. I say, Bing bong. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Infinity. I appreciate you always being out here for us. And shout out to your kids for supporting the Bing bong movement. Let's go ahead and continue on here. Again, this is kind of, again, looking very similar to Bitcoin. Money flow coming out very aggressively on that 4-hour. But let's go ahead and try to find you guys some levels to keep an eye on to try to figure out where this thing is going to go. So right now, shout out to Dave Digital pulling that fib. Right now, guys, this is kind of coming down to test this 786. You were holding on to the 786 for absolute dear life here when we pull it just basically from this impulse all the way to your swing high here, just low to high. And you're kind of just stuck in this little pocket being between your golden pocket and your 786. And I'm going to go ahead and pull some more volume here. Shout out to Jimmy James, says, appreciate you, Frankie, and the team for all you do. Shout out to Jimmy, bro. I appreciate you for that super chat, man. Thank you for saying thank you. I appreciate you, bro. I would do this for free if I could, or if I had to. I would easily do this for free. So shout out to you, man. I appreciate the super chat. Not a cheap one either. Shout out to you, bro. And yeah, anytime, bro. You don't have to thank me. I'm here for the mafia. I do it for the people. Let's go. But continuing on, shout out to Jimmy James. But I do want to go ahead and find some more levels here. So let's go ahead and pull up our VP VR. And delete that range here. Type in the VPVR, VPVT. It's VRVP. Visible range volume profile, guys, not visible profile range. But anyway, taking a look here. Come on with this locked. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn on the Lux Algo price actions concepts. Oh, my God. Okay, there we go. All right, so next levels underneath us, guys, that I would be aware of is going to be obviously, you do have a little bit of a gap. If we lose these levels down here, the 786, essentially, if we decisively lose that 786, next level of major support is going to probably come in at that, about $1.18 level. Basically, I will draw this as a box. I will go ahead and, I'll draw it like about here. This would be a decent place to, look for a little bit of support, right? Your volume, your high volume node does start at about $1.18. And then you do have this order block between about $1.16 and $1.13. And you could see the buying volume is a little bit stronger than the selling volume, which I do want to be clear about. Doesn't necessarily indicate that you're definitely going to get a big bounce off of it. I think a lot of people look at these order blocks and say like, oh, if there's more buying volume, it means that we're definitely going to get a bounce off this level. It's not necessarily the case. But the one thing I do like about these is that it tells you where more of the volume is, right? So you have an order block here, 32% of the volume, or I guess you could call it liquidity, but 32% plus 39%, you got like over 60% down here against kind of, you can think of it as being like against, whatever this is, right? 25, right? So 25% versus 60% kind of makes me think that we may come down here and test those levels first, but you can't really make trading decisions based off that. But as far as support and resistance, I would look basically down here between about $1.16 and $1.13. You do have that order block, and then below that, you have a little bit more volume and another order block between $1.09 and $1.06. And then after that, you do have a little bit of a gap all the way down to about $1.03. And then your next high volume node is basically at $1 even, right? So this is kind of what I would be watching as far as levels for Matic. And again, it is looking very, very similar to Bitcoin as far as the indicators go, but those are some levels I would be watching. I'm actually going to come into these price action concepts because although the order blocks are very, very very, very helpful. I don't always keep them on the chart. What I do like to keep on the chart is the fair value gaps, as well as your previous weekly levels, and then, even previous monthly levels and previous daily levels I do like to keep a look at, or take a look at, as well as the market structure. So there we go. Can I change this to, I think I have Frankie Candle settings on here. I guess not. But there you go, guys. That is what I would be looking at on Matic. Let's see. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. He says, Frankie Candles, I'm going to make Frankie Candles logo candle modes, print them, and make some Frankie Candles candles for you. Whoa. Well, Frankie Candles candle. That would be like, I don't know what would happen. I feel like that would be like some kind of crazy thing would happen. It'd be like Candleception. You'd have Frankie Candles lighting a Frankie Candles candle. That just hurt my brain. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Let's go. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Says, Wendell asks, yo, Frankie, can you shout out my friend Matt? Trying to get him in the Candle Mafia. Well, Wendell, you hang in. You hang on. Right? Hang on 1 second, bro. Matt, you too. Matt, I assume you're with Wendell right now. Sit down. You're standing up. Sit down for a second. Hang on. Hi, Matt. My name's Frankie Candle. Frankie Candle? My name's Frankie Candles, and on this channel, I help you learn how to trade, how to make money trading crypto, whether the price is going up or down. Because contrary to popular belief, even when the market is crashing and everybody's screaming with their hair on fire, you can actually profit. You can actually profit and make money even though the price is going down, right? So that's what we do here in the Candle Mafia on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. And Matt, I am now, I don't need consent. The Mafia doesn't ask for consent. You are now knighted into the Candle Mafia. I now pronounce you a Candle Mafia member. Welcome to the muscle, my friend. Bing bong. Woo! Matt's in the Candle Mafia now, baby. I just blessed you with like $6,000. Welcome to the Candle Mafia, Matt. You're in here now. Shout out to Wendell. Shout out to Matt, our newest member of the Candle Mafia. And I know you said you weren't looking for a new friend group and you kind of already have friends and you're not really interested in joining any new clubs. But hey, bro, you're in here now. You're in here now and you can't leave. And hey, we love Wendell. So I'm sure we're going to love you too. Welcome to the Candle Mafia, Matt. Bing bong. We got you, bro. There's no leaving now. You're going to have to go through Hannah King and Crypto Billy. And you don't want to step on them. And don't make us call Tony Soprano on you, bro. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the Mafia, bro. We're happy to have you. Shout out to Wendell and shout out to Matt. There you go. Wendell, was that good? Did we get that? Did we get him in? Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Next altcoin that we are looking at is going to be good old XRP, guys. We have not taken a look at XRP in quite some time. Going ahead to check in on the XRP Bitstamp chart. A bada boom, a bada bing. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Who watches UFC? Come on. That's from UFC, right? Yeah. Okay. Fighting. Okay. Anyway. Introducing first. Sorry, guys. Bruce Buffer's my hero. Anyway. All right. Taking a look here, guys, at XRP. What the heck is going on with this thing? Is this thing ever going to move? Are they going to win the lawsuit? Are they going to lose the lawsuit? At this point, I mean, I have a lot of money in XRP, guys. I have a big bag of XRP, but at this point, I kind of just want an answer. Am I going to lose my money or am I going to make money? Let me know. I don't care. Just tell me soon. But taking a look at XRP here, guys, talk about the red dot, green dot game on that weekly time frame. Red dot, green dot, red dot. You are now printing a red dot on the weekly. That is definitely much more of a bearish sign. Money flow actually looking like it may round up a little bit here. It is coming out, but it looks like it's curving off. Really nothing to take away decisively out of this. But weekly red dot off the bat, definitely more of a bearish look. 6-day red dot printing. Definitely more of a bearish sign. 5-day money flow is still kind of coming up. Money flow kind of going flat. Red dot printing. I would have to lean a little bit more bearish on XRP just from the red dots. In the short term, right? Money flow coming back out on the 4-day. Again, a little bit more bearish. Money flow coming out on the 3-day, more bearish. You got a blood diamond anywhere on here? There it is. I knew there was going to be a blood diamond here somewhere. But yeah, there you go. Blood diamond confirmed on your 3-day. Nothing really too aggressive happening just yet. You know, yeah, you're already a day into this new candle and you just still haven't gotten a big move down. That could be a good sign. The fact that we're getting a very bearish signal and it's not absolutely nuking to the downside, that may be a bullish sign. 2-day, money flow is really what I'm interested here. Or what I'm interested in here. Money flow starting to round up on your 2-day with the VWAP. Doesn't look too bad to me. Higher daily time frames actually look a little bit bearish. Your 2-day does look like it wants to roll back to the upside just a little bit here. Your daily VWAP, looking for the green dot, money flow coming back up. Now, this does look a little different than everything else. It looks a little different than Bitcoin. However, I will say this. It does look a little bit different, but essentially the same stuff is happening, right? Like the money flow wave looks a little different on Bitcoin, but same thing. Money flow coming up, VWAP coming up as well. No bull div here. However, let me go ahead and I'm actually going to turn some of these off. We don't need the daily or the monthly. We could keep the monthly. But you can see, right, money flow coming up, VWAP coming up. Looking for that green dot probably in the next day or two. We'll get that green dot on the daily. Hopefully the higher daily time frames can roll back up at that point. You know, green dot confirmed on your 16-hour. Your 12-hour green dot is printing. It is confirmed on the 16-hour. Okay, your 10-hour green dot is confirmed as well. 8-hour, yeah. Kind of, is that a divergence is the question. Yeah, I mean, you did have a bull div here on your 4-hour, which is very, very interesting. Question was it at a key level or was it not? Interesting. Okay, so not only, so there is actually somewhat, so you come down to your golden pocket, you put in your, you come down to your golden pocket, you put in your 4-hour bull div here, right? Come down, put in that bull div on the 4-hour into your golden pocket. You also came into almost down exactly to your previous weekly low, and you're getting equal lows here as well, which could be a lot of times, guys, if you're using Lux Algo and you get these equal lows or equal highs notifications or these little signals up here, a lot of times this shows a trend change, right? A lot of times when you get those, right, equal highs, what happened? The trend changed, right? Equal highs, the trend changed, right? Let's see if we can get one on the bottom somewhere. A bullish equal lows. Let's see. Yeah. Equal lows. What happened? We came up, right? Equal highs kind of came down, but then we came back up, right? Not going to work all the time. But equal highs, we come down. Equal highs, we come down, right? So just be aware of that. When you see the equal highs or the equal lows, a lot of times there is a reversal coming up, right? So equal lows, reversal. You also did put a technical bear div in on the 4-hour. I'll go ahead and mark that out for you guys from this double green dot, right? Boom, boom. There's your lower lows on your price. There's your higher lows on your price, on your momentum waves. Boom, you get that bull div and a move to the upside. That could be a decent marker of a local bottom and a move to the upside. And you did come tap almost perfectly your previous weekly low. Yeah. And this was a strong low as well, right here, right? We came down and we got a strong low. 94% chance this was a strong low on the 4-hour. Granted, we did come up. Now we're coming back down. We could be putting in a higher low here to continue higher. But again, those higher daily time frames are, I mean, to be honest, everything else kind of looks bearish other than this bull div, to be honest with you. But it is definitely worth noting. VWAP coming to the downside on your 2-hour, 30-minute. Money flow coming back out, right? You came up, now you're coming back out. Hopefully you can make a higher low here and, continue back up. But let me go ahead and erase all of this TA and give you guys some fresh levels. Get rid of the volume. Turn off Lux Algo. We'll just go straight TA here. All right, so let's go ahead and get these levels real quick. Zooming out just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this is essentially just one massive sideways range. Just one massive sideways range. But what we'll do is we'll break it down into something a little bit more local. I will go ahead and pull this range. And if you guys are wondering where I get these ranges from, you can just see, right? I basically eyeball the sideways range, right? We got support here. We got support here. We got support here. So we have some kind of lows down here. And then we have some kind of highs up here, right? So I'm just going to pull some volume on this area, right? And I recommend you guys experiment with your volume profiles, right? So there you go. So I'm going to pull it from there. You can see we are at the value area low of this somewhat local range. And this is kind of where you would be looking for a potential, if you were watching, if I was looking at this price action as this 4-hour bull div formed at the value area low, I would have looked to get in here and scalp this to the upside. If you hold this value area low as support, it will be more likely technically to come up to your POC, which is coming in, which is coming in at about 39 cents. Your value area high is coming in at about 41 cents, and then that value area low is coming in at 37 cents. So if we hold this macro value area low, I would expect a move back up towards your POC at this moment, right? Especially because we put in a 4-hour bull div at that value area low, could actually be marking a local bottom and a potential move to the upside. However, again, we're going to have to really see these higher daily timeframes will likely take time to play out, but these red dots on these higher timeframes are making me a bit nervous. So yeah, kind of hard to read XRP as of right now. But let me go ahead and come down. Let me go ahead and come down to a little bit of a lower time frame. And let's pull a little bit more local volume, right? So let's pull even more local volume. Boom. So we are so this is kind of how I break things down, guys. This is almost falls under time frames, but not really, right? You can see when we look at the 4-hour, we have this more macro range, right? But if you're looking for scalps, right? So this 4-hour bull div could be the start of a bigger move up towards that POC, which would wind up being a nice little 4 or 5% move. However, that doesn't necessarily, you could see here that the 4-hour is actually looking a little toppy with the VWAP, right? So it would be likely to potentially cool off a little bit before getting another move to the upside. So if you come down to the 15-minute and pull some local volume, you'll see that there's actually some agreement on the 15-minute with a potential pullback, right? Because we are coming up to our value area high locally. And are we getting any bearish signals? We have a 15-minute bear div, right? Higher highs into our value area high with our lower highs on our momentum waves, giving us that bear div at resistance as we came out of our value area. And this is where you would expect a move to the downside. And we have broken below our local value area high, which may give us a move back down towards our POC, coming in at about 37 cents. So if we get this move down to 37 cents, you may get a bounce off this level as the 4-hour continues. Depends on how long it takes to play out. But more locally, you could look to get a scalp short, maybe down to your value area low, maybe down to your POC, maybe down to this level at 37 cents. But locally, it does make sense that we get a pullback because the 4-hour looks a little overheated in the short term, and your 15-minute bear div slash being at the top of the range would also be in agreement with a small pullback before continuation higher. But just in general, that 4-hour that we put in at the bottom of this value area low on a macro level, could indicate some more upside for XRP. However, it's really the 6 day and the weekly that look bearish, but those are obviously going to take some time to play out regardless. But there you go, guys. There's XRP. Shout out to K-Bon. Thoughts on Cocos? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. I don't know much about it. I can go ahead and take a look at the chart. I don't know if it's a new coin. Okay, so this is probably what you're thinking of. Oh, okay. We can actually take a look at this real quick. 4-hour money flow is coming out, right? So just in general, this looks a little bit more overheated to me, right? Because you have money leaving the asset. Granted, your price isn't continuing to come higher as money flow is coming down, so there's no divergence. But just in general, money flow is coming out on the 4-hour. Yeah, 2 hours crossing over into the red. I smell something really weird in the studio here, guys. I don't know what it is. I think somebody's cooking something. I don't know. But sorry about that. I got a strong nose, guys. I get distracted by smells. Let's take a look at that 30-minute. Nothing really to deduce from there. I would be looking for 4-hour green dot is likely going to print here very soon. I'm going to pull some volume on this. Let's go to the 1 hour. I'm just going to pull volume on this whole thing. Yeah. I would look for a potential push up. 4-hour green dot is looking to print here. These are basically the levels I would be looking at. And shout out to XR Pete said, Frankie, thank you for that scalp this morning. Quick money. Hey, shout out to XR Pete. First of all, savage name, bro. I love that name. And shout out to you, man. No problem. Hey, if you're in that kitchen, or the premium Discord, I call it the kitchen. If you're in the kitchen, bro, you're getting that sauce, baby. Let's go. Shout out to XR Pete. Congratulations on your gains. Let's go, baby. Shout out to the premium Discord. Pew, pew. And we're out of money. Mrs. Candles is going to kill me, guys. I just shot all of our money that we had, which is a lot. It's like a stack this big, and now she always picks it up. I don't know why. I don't ask her. She just picks it up. But she's going to hate me for that because thanks to Matt, Wendell's friend Matt, I just shot the whole thing. So shout out to Matt. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, I would be looking at this POC as your next major level of resistance on Cocos. Did I say? Yeah, POC. But yeah, I would look for a potential bearish retest of that POC before a potential move back down, right? Because you're getting the 2-hour green dot. That could push you up into the POC. Taking a look, I would also, because your 4-hour green dot hasn't even printed yet, and it may give you a move up, it might push us past that POC. So to find a level past the POC that might be a good level to reject, I'm going to pull a local golden pocket, right? From the high to the low, boom. And now you have this little secondary level, right? You have this little secondary level at about $2.53 that if you do get that 2-hour green dot pushes you into the POC, then maybe your 3-hour green dot winds up pushing you above it a little bit, and then the 4-hour pushes you up a little higher. Now you have this level above the POC that might wind up giving you a higher low, or you might just push up into this and reject it back down to the value area low. The reason I would expect a rejection at either the POC or the golden pocket or the 786. Granted, if you got up to the 786, you're pretty close to your value area high. But if you get a rejection really off the POC, the reason why this interests me is because, you know, again, money flow. Money flow on the 3-hour is coming out aggressively. It's crossing over into the red on the 2-hour, and the 4-hour is coming out as well, right? So, again, that money flow is indicating the longer-term trend to the downside or the upside, right? So the money flow is where you're looking to try to predict the future trend, right? So that is basically what I would be looking for on Cocos. Again, I don't know a lot about this project, but that is kind of what I would look for, right? I would look for either a rejection off the POC. If you push up, look for a rejection off that local golden pocket. However, yeah, you may be coming up there to make a lower high, kind of similar to what we were talking about last week and this and earlier on this stream with the scalp short that we put in the premium Discord this morning. We were basically just looking for the retest of that local value area low / golden pocket for a lower high and a rejection to the downside. Same idea here, either rejecting that POC or that local golden pocket to make a lower high, right? So high, lower high. Granted, you have a lower high right here. So if you broke this, you'd technically be making a higher high. So kind of hard to call there, to be honest with you guys. So I would just look at the volume profile. If you can't get back above that POC, I would expect to move down to your value area low. And because of the money flow, I would have to lean a little bit more bearish. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. AGIX is next. AGIX looking like a whole snack. Shout out to, who said that? Shout out to Kevin Baker. Shout out to you, bro. How you doing today, man? Let's see. AGIX. Let's see. Tether US. That's not what oh, yeah, because this is, yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Taking a look. Let's see if we can pull up a different chart. What is this? Binance Tether. Let's look at KuCoin Tether. Not, okay, there we go. All right, that's a little better. Okay, take a look at your daily. Oh, baby. I'm not going to lie, boys. I'm not going to lie. That looks like some bullish consolidation to me. Bang, just some kind of mean bullish pennant. I don't know. I'm not a big pattern guy, but I'm not a big pattern guy. But I don't know. I mean, hey, that was looking pretty bullish to me, to be honest with you. Money flow coming back up on the daily with your green dot confirmed. 16-hour VWAP kind of rolling to the downside, but money flow kind of ticking up just a little bit there. Your 12-hour, same deal. 10-hour, looking to cool off. Money flow in the red. Taking a look at your 4-hour, looking to cool off. But money flow is coming up, right? So, again, with money flow coming up on a lot of the medium time frames, guys, on a lot of this stuff, it is making me think that we may get this next move up, right? It's just those higher daily time frames that I'm watching out for those bear divs, may kind of have a delayed reaction. But again, the fact that they haven't played out yet is somewhat of a good sign. So the fact that those bear divs on Bitcoin on the higher daily time frames have not played out yet, or haven't really given us a big move down yet, is making me feel a little bit more bullish. And on top of that, you have money flow starting to come in on the medium time frames, right? So that may just leak into those higher time frames and give us that move up. But on AGIX, money flow is back in the red on the 4-hour. However, you came into the green. Now you're back in the red. You may just kind of bing-bong around before coming back up into the green. But coming down, your 2-hour is, your 2 hours back in the green. I'll just pull a little bit of volume on this kind of sideways range we got going on here. I'll just go local. Bada boom. Actually, we can go a little further. Let's go back here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so there we go. At the very, 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 coming out of our value area here, as we've done almost every time we've approached it, kind of just came out, big nuke to the bottom, came out, big nuke to the bottom, came out, are we going to get that big nuke to the bottom? And I would actually say, potentially, right? Potentially. Coming down to a lower time frame, there you go. Kind of what I would look for here, guys. I'll give you a little freebie. Now, no guarantee that this plays out. It might not even confirm. Higher highs, lower highs. Even if you get that second red dot here, you'd have a local bear div and a more, you'd have another bear. You'd have a bear div from here to here, and then you'd have another one from here to here. As you come out of your value area, that may make for a nice little scalp short position. Not financial advice, not a trade signal, just something I would be looking at. And then do you have, and then again, going down, to the lower time frames to get a little bit of a better entry, you could be watching this 15-minute bear div, potentially get that in as a scalp, right? Treat it as a scalp, right? Let me go ahead and spawn that volume again, right? So let's see. Right, you have a little 15-minute bear div. Let me delete this other line, right? Money flow's coming up nicely, right? So that may not be the best short to take right now. But 15-minute, 24-minute, right? 24-minute bear div, right? There you go. Lower highs, higher highs, right? Into your value area high, out of your value area high. So if we are going to get a cool off here, kind of my thoughts behind this would be if you could go on that 15-minute, based off that 15-minute stop loss, above your previous swing high or above the previous high here, somewhere above there, right? And then you target this top of the value area high, maybe. Again, because you guys know, once you come out of your value area high, there's two things that can happen. Either you're going to come out of your value area, you're not going to bring that much new volume in. We have brought a little bit in here, but nothing really too crazy. It's still pretty low compared to all this volume, right? It's still a big fall off. But you are out of your value area. So you are either expecting to come out of your value area. Well, I guess the first option is you just absolutely launch out of your value area, which is kind of what's happening at this moment. But likely, we're not just absolutely ripping through this. So really what we'd be looking for here is coming above the value area, flipping the value area high to support before getting a bigger move up. Or we're expecting to not bring any more volume in and get pulled back into our value area and then eventually make it back towards the POC or the value area low. So kind of how I would, grab your uncooked spaghetti and your uncooked lasagna, dip your uncooked spaghetti in your marinade, kick it in there, and then write your notes on your uncooked lasagna. Again, I don't know if anybody ever gets that joke, but I say it every time anyway. Because this is the sauce, guys. Take your notes. How I would treat this is shorting a technical signal such as a bear div as you are outside of the value area, and I would treat it as a scalp because I know that, if we don't just rip out of here, which I don't think is going to happen, and if it does happen, I would expect a retest of the value area high because, again, as we always say, when you come out of your value area, you're either going to flip your value area high to support and get a bigger move up, or you're going to get sucked back into your value area, more specifically towards the POC. And then if you lose that, you come to your value area low. So the idea here would be to maybe try to catch a scalp short. I'm not telling you to do this. This is not a scalp trade. I just see this setup. I'm not taking this trade. Full transparency, I will not take this trade because by the time I get off the stream, this is going to be long gone. Basically the idea here is short the technical signal on a lower time frame for a scalp trade. potentially coming down to your value area low, which would be a 2.6% move. Nice little scalp trade. If you get stopped out, you get a small loss, right? But because I know it's likely that we'll at least come down to test this as support, even if we're going to go higher, you could treat it as a scalp trade to the top of the value area high, and then if price breaks down below your value area high, and you wind up coming below it, right? You come down, maybe you bounce around a little bit, and then you break down, flip it to resistance, and you come back down towards your POC. Now that little scalp trade, that little 2.6% scalp trade with a little bit of leverage, that'll be a nice little gain. But if you break down below these levels, you can expect price to then go down to the POC, in which case your trade will turn into a 6% move. And if you lose that POC, you may turn it into a 12% move. And that is how you turn a scalp trade that is, we haven't found many confirmations here, but if you can find a lot of confirmations, you could say maybe that's going to be a confident scalp trade. And then worst case scenario, I turn it into a little scalp. And then best case scenario, it turns into a swing all the way back down to the value area low. If we're going to see the same thing that has happened not only here, but also here. If we're going to get that same thing, you may get an early entry for a little scalp that could wind up turning in to one of these, right? So that's kind of the idea there. Not a trade call. Not a trade, not a signal, but just something I would be looking at for a potential little scalp that may turn into a swing trade. Again, full transparency, I will not be taking that trade. Could get wrecked, right? Just not a trade setup or a trade signal. Just I see the opportunity to kind of, if we had tons of confluence there to go short, that might not be a bad play, right? Okay. So, I'd like some more cheap AGIX to farm. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. And then let's see. Money flow looking hungry. No. AGIX money flow. Yeah, I mean, I will say, let's see. Depends on what time frame you're looking at, right? Let's see. Where did I see? There was one time frame, right? Yeah, like on the 3 hour, you're coming into the green, right? That looks like a nice move, right? That's what I'm saying. That's not a short setup, right? Like I'm not telling you guys to take that short. I'm just saying you are getting a bear div there. Is it likely you cool off to the value area high? Probably, right? But we're not looking for confirmations now. I'm not going to spend time to look through specific confirmations to validate that trade or not. I was just using it as a way to explain things to you guys. But yeah, money flow on the 3 hour looks pretty good. Money flow on the 4 hour is kind of bing-bonging around, a little bit indecisive. I wish I knew what time frame you were looking at the money flow on. But again, 12 hours generally coming out, right? I'm just saying what's on the indicators, right? 16 hours generally coming out. Daily is coming up, right? So that would be a good sign. So the daily money flow is looking hungry. 2-day money flow is coming up too. So the higher daily time frames are actually looking pretty good as far as money flow. So on the higher time frames, the money flow is looking good, but for a short-term pullback, money flow is looking pretty nasty. So short-term pullback on AGIX is kind of what I would expect, but those higher daily time frames are looking bullish, so you could get that continuation to the upside. Thank you, Rob, the crypto snob. I appreciate you. I see you out there just doing the dang job, bro. Let's go. All right. I know someone super chatted, although super chats, just for a heads up, guys, if you super chat an altcoin, it does not guarantee we take a look at it. But I know a lot of people were asking for Jasmine, and I think I saw a couple super chats for it. And I do think we do have some time for this last coin before we start spinning that wheel of pain and pleasure. But let's go ahead and take a look at Jasmine. Is this the actual Jasmine? No. Is it? Is it? Okay, yeah. Okay. I think this is it. I don't look at Jasmine very often. I think this is it. Somebody stop me if this is the wrong coin. Javid the Barber. Hey, bro. Check me out, bro. Check me out. Hey, I'm faded up, bro. I'm always so proud to show you my haircut. I always feel self-conscious that Javid the Barber is going to pop in here and I'm looking like a shaggy dog. But Javid, we're cleaned up, bro. Check the fade. Check the fade. Hey, not as good as a fade that you would give, I'm sure, but it's something, right? It's better than nothing. Shout out to Javid. I appreciate you for being here, bro. Best mods in the bids. Shout out to Brad Guidell. Absolutely, bro. Can't be competed with. But 699 people still in here, guys. Smash that like button. We are going for 850 likes. If we get 850 likes, we will spin that wheel of pain and pleasure. But real quick, let's get Jasmine out of the way here so we can spin that dang wheel. Money flow coming up on the day, looking very similar to Bitcoin. Money flow coming out on the 16 and the 12 hour, 8 hour money flow in the red, 8 hour printing. 8 hour printing that red dot. Ooh, baby. All right, let's see. 30-minute, 24-minute money flow in the red. 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red. Is that going to be a blood diamond? I can almost guarantee it. Bang, baby! Give him the blood diamond. Dump it to 0, baby. I'm just kidding, guys. It's just the 30-minute. But with that 30-minute blood diamond and the money flow crossover into the red. Remember, with that 8-hour red dot, printing could give us a very strong move down, right? So let's look at that 30-minute, right? Money flow crossing over into the red as we speak. Putting that vertical line there, perfectly lined up with that red dot. A lot of times, guys, this can give us a move down, and kind of what I would expect here on Jasmy if I can find a good level. If I could find, let me just try to find a key level here, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. That's it. 786. I'm giving you a freebie here on the stream, guys. Not a trade signal. This is just kind of what I would expect to happen. This is a guess. You have to understand that not all of this is likely to play out, right? Do you even DJ, bro? Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. You're funny. You're funny. Shout out to Killabee. Hey, me and Tony D just got attacked by a bee today. Tony D, if you're in here, you can tell him about it. We got attacked by a bee, guys. It was bad. But anyway, so Killabee, I'm with you. Anyway, except for Blanchard's bees. We could save Blanchard's bees, encrypted bees. But continuing on, kind of what I would expect here, guys, is it does look like that 8-hour could wind up setting up for a bullish divergence because we're getting this 8-hour red dot with the 24 and 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red with the blood diamond on the 30-minute. I would expect a little bit more of a move to the downside, and kind of something I would be looking for is a potential push from that golden pocket into the 786 as our momentum wave comes back down here and loops back to the upside. If we can get that lower low into the 786 with our higher low on our momentum wave on the 8-hour, and we get that 8-hour bullish divergence as we come down and test the highs from up here in between January and that we made basically in January. You could see that 786 fib level lines perfectly up with the highs that we got rejected from. Boom, 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 right? We couldn't get above there. Finally, we broke out. So we broke out, but we never came down to bullishly retest those highs or that 786 fib level, right? So if we get that move down, that lower low into the 786 to retest those highs that we made in January, that would be a pretty strong level, in my opinion, to go ahead and look for a long position. And that 8-hour bull div may be something to look at. That's all I'll say. And not a trade signal. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Anyway, just something to keep an eye on. We might not get that, guys. We might get a bounce from here. We might go all the way lower, right? They might get invalidated. But that's just something we have to look at, right? We want to be prepared. You want to have a plan. If you're looking to trade Jasmy, you don't want to open up the chart and be like, oh, it's looking bullish right now. Let me get in. You want to have a plan. And if this was me, my plan would be to sit on my hands until I can get a lower low on the 8-hour and a higher low on the momentum waves with a confirmed bull div with money flow coming up on those lower time frames to go long, right? You want to wait. That's the plan, right? And if price action doesn't go according to your plan, then you just don't take the trade. That's how you avoid bad trades. But I can almost guarantee you. So again, these lows, right? The 786 coming in at about 0.005 would be a big level to look for longs, and that is more specifically what I would be looking for on the 8-hour, right? We're giving specifics now. That's a little bit of a freebie for the YouTubers, for the CandleMafia. We give you guys those freebies, but check this out, right? What if we grab our volume profile and we pull it on this little sideways range, just so we don't get it twisted? This sideways range, right? Somewhat of a side. Obviously, it's not perfect, right? But it is some kind of a consolidation period, right? So that's where I'm going to pull my volume. Pull it from there to there. Click on this, unextend it. Boom. Look at that, guys. I didn't even know if that was going to happen, but I was pretty sure it was going to, right? Again, another reason why that level would be strong is it is the highs of the previous area consolidation, and it is our value area high. So we broke above this. We may come down, flip that, bounce off that value area high. This would be a good level. I didn't think this was going to set up this nicely. I would be keeping an eye on this, guys. There you go. Shout out to the CandleMafia. I would keep an eye on this. I'll just leave that there because this is the 786. Previous highs, previous value area high. There will be a lot of reasons to come. Not only will there be plenty of reasons to come down and test this level, right? We broke above it. Now let's come down and touch it to flip it to support. Maybe we did it there. But if we didn't, we could come down, touch it, flip it to support. It would be retesting the previous value area high, which a lot of times is where we see that big move up, right? So this is what I would be looking for. Money flow, again, on the 8-hour is kind of looking nasty. So we may get a maybe gets invalidated if we break this level. But again, that is what I would be looking at. I'd love to see the money flow come up, though, because if you come down here and you just get a bull div, I wouldn't just take it based off the bull div, right? You want to get bullish confirmations, multiple bullish confirmations. So there you go, guys. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. There's Cryptid Bees. I'm out, Mafia. Have a good night, everyone. Hey, Cryptid Bees, just so you know, I'm only down with Killer Bee for that one bee that attacked me and Tony. Cryptid Bees and Blanchard's Bees, you guys are safe, all right? Shout out to Blanchard's and Cryptid. Connor Anderson in the chat, what is going on, bro? You got scared of a bee? Something the size of a pinky nail? Creighton C. Actually, I will tell you this. Not afraid of bees at all. And the only reason I'm not afraid of bees at all is because they sting me for sport. Bees sting me for sport, guys. I've been stung hundreds of times in my life. I have the worst luck when it comes to bees. So let's pull up the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. Yeah, the only reason I'm not scared of bees is because I've been stung so many times that I don't care. Like, it's pretty funny. Tony was like, oh my God, there's a bee in here. And I was just like, oh, you're good, bro. You're safe. It's not going to sting you. It's going to sting me. If it's going to sting anybody, it's 100% going to sting me. So you're good. And I don't even care. Guys, one time I stuck my hand in my pocket and I thought there was a piece of fuzz in my pocket, and I picked up the piece of fuzz in my pocket while my hand was in my pocket. And like, I picked it up, feeling it. I'm like, wow, what's this piece of fuzz? And it was a bee. And it just stung me on the hand. I've been stung. I was on a hike with Mrs. Candles recently. Actually a few months ago now. Just walking down there. Bee flew zzz, right into my knee and just stung me. Just flew directly into saw it coming out of the sky, and it went right to my knee and stung me. I don't know what it is. It's that sweet, sweet Sicilian blood. They want the candle wax, guys. Smash that like button if you guys if you guys hate getting stung by bees. Go ahead and smash that like button. 850 is the goal, guys. What do we get? We got 650, 200 off. Yeesh. It's a Monday. People still waking up. We got 6 spins on the wheel. Just give them a giveaway, baby. Give them a giveaway. Give them another spin. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Creighton. Oh, yeah. By bees, I mean, yeah, whatever ones sting. Wasps, hornets, I don't know what they are. I've actually been stung by a paper hornet, which I don't know a lot about bees, but I know I got stung by a paper hornet, and like I told somebody that, and they were like, yeah, it's like one of the most painful stings you can get. It did hurt a lot. I was riding a dirt bike. I was going like 40 miles an hour through the woods, like dodging trees on a dirt bike, and I ran over a nest, and I got stung by, I think they were called paper hornets. I got stung on my ankle, and the pain like shot all the way through my chest. It was horrible. It's like oh God, I don't know. Maybe I got shot. Maybe I got hit with a stray bullet because I was hunting. So I don't know. Mosquitoes are the worst. Honestly, I'd almost rather mosquitoes. Hornets, yeah, maybe they're hornets. Yeah, I don't know. It's like these things hunt me out, I swear. Creighton, we're going to start bees and wasps and hornets all, yeah, bees, they want the candle wax. A big juicy moth. Much love from up above, listening while driving in Alaska. Shout out to Mark. Hey, we're worried about bees. Mark out there in Alaska, probably worried about like bears and elk and stuff. I don't know what they have in Alaska, but I'm sure it's way scarier than the stuff we have down here in Atlanta. Bees love you, Frankie. Shout out to Killer Bee. I'm kidding. It's a joke, guys, because his actual name is probably like Killer Bee, like Killer Bee. But if you read it, it says Kill a Bee. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Killer Bee. Killer Bee. If you could talk to Blanchard's Bees and Cryptid Bees, who are also Candle Mafia members, and then maybe talk to all the bees that you know and tell them like to lay off. I get stung too much. That would be lit. Shout out to Killer Bee. All right. What do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 giveaways on this beautiful Monday night. I appreciate everybody for sticking around till the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. And yeah, guys, be careful. The mixed signals are out there. That's all the time we got for tonight. But again, money flow is looking like it may want to turn around on some of these medium time frames. So be careful of this move to the upside. That daily time frame is looking for that green dot very, very soon. Likely going to be tomorrow or the next day to get that green dot. And I think that will likely be the catalyst for our next actual big move up. Also watching that 4-hour green dot for a move up. And then the only bearish caveat I have personally, as you guys know, I love to dump Bitcoin down to zero. I'm actually pretty good at it. I just have to have a little meeting with Bitcoin. I call up Satoshi. I say, hey, CandleMafia wants me to dump it a little bit. Can we get something going? And he's like, all right, fine. I'll dump it a little bit. Although that is, I typically do like when Bitcoin dumps. I just want lower prices. I want to buy in some more, guys. With that being said, things do look pretty good right now as far as medium time frame money flow goes. The only bearish caveat is those confirmed bear divs on the higher daily time frames. But again, we want to take those with somewhat of a grain of salt, because if we are expecting this to be a big move up, if this uptrend is going to continue for a fake out mini bull market, we would expect those bear divs to not really play out as extreme as they typically do. Where'd my chat go? My chat disappeared. Hang on. Let me pull it back up there, guys. Hey, look, CandleMafia is on TV. Let's go. Oh, you guys can't even see the screen. I'm so shot. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to David Brumbelow with those B emojis. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys so much. You are not just a number to me. You guys are this YouTube channel. I'm just the crazy guy that screens on camera. Hey, I don't even remember what it was on, but that little couple freebies are thrown around here. Now, again, it doesn't mean enter a trade or follow what I'm doing. It just means, hey, maybe you want to keep an eye on this and find your confirmations. And, if things present themselves correctly, some of these little, some of this info that we gave tonight may actually wind up, playing out. But always remember, trade at your own risks. We're wrong sometimes too. So just always be careful out there, guys. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. I'm not going to be able to load the money gun up in time here, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw some of this. With all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll see you tomorrow. And with all that being said, that's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. I never know how to end these things.
Tyler Ramos.
Hey, Creighton C. Very interesting. Shout out to Creighton C. He's educating me on bees right now. And I kind of feel like I might just be running into hungry bees. Shout out to Creighton C. He says, I don't make my own honey. I just simply supply the bees with food. When bees are well fed, they're actually super docile. So maybe I'm just being rude to the bees, and I'm just running into some hangry bees. That might be the case. Should I keep a little thing of honey on me? Every time a bee comes out, I just hold out the honey. Maybe it's just a little bit hungry. I like animals. I even like bugs. I like all animals, right? Nature's nature. But when they sting me, I didn't know they were just hungry. Now I'm gonna have to carry some extra Aztecian cactus moss water and some extra Frankie Candles nuggets or chips. We don't have our food. We only have our energy drink. I don't know why I said that, but I'll have to keep some honey and some Aztecian cactus moss water. Or maybe we'll make a honey flavored version of the Aztecian cactus moss water. So when they come, I could just give them a little bit of candle nectar, and then they'll just leave me alone. They won't sting me. Shout out to Creighton C. Thanks for educating me on bees. With all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love each and every single one of you. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.